पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ रुपए का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस केवल 450 रुपए महीने से शुरू। वाव!
First up, there's growing concern over the new COVID variant that is driving up cases elsewhere in the world. What are the steps being taken in India and how are the states preparing? I'll be going across to my colleague Shrija, who's joining us from Bengaluru, and Vedant, who's joining us from Delhi. But before that, let's take a look at what the centre aims to do at this juncture. With an even more contagious variant, BF.7 surfacing, India is looking at more genome sequencing to identify the new variant in COVID cases in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, after a review meeting on COVID, has advised the use of masks and increased testing for COVID. There's been concern after 4 cases of the virus variant playing havoc in China were detected in India. The centre has told the states to focus on awareness. Let me go across now to Shrija for more on what Karnataka specifically is doing. Shrija, I understand that there'll be increased random testing at the airports, but what else is Karnataka looking at this juncture?
Well, in the view of the global situation, the Health Minister for Karnataka, Dr. K. Sudhakar, has also said that, random samples especially will be sent for genome testing, and this is also to identify if there is a presence of the new mutant. That apart, today at the urgent meeting which was called by Chief Minister Basuraj Bommai, there were certain steps that were taken. However, there's no guidelines issued just yet. Now, what really was the outcome of this particular meeting? We understand the government has decided, in fact, to come up with new guidelines along the lines of the centre, especially to mandate as far as the use of COVID masks are concerned. They're very particular about especially people who are indoors and also especially in closed spaces. Now, those people have been now mandatorily advised to wear masks as well. And as usual, we are back to the COVID appropriate behaviour, and in fact also government stressing on the fact that social distancing will have to be maintained. More importantly, the government has also said they will be taking steps, especially in the coming days, especially inspecting hospitals, the private and also the district hospitals, in terms of oxygen levels are concerned, and also to increase the bed capacity as well. Back to the studio.
Shrija May, thanks for joining us with all those details. Meanwhile, trace, test, treat. The focus is back on the 3 T's as India braces for the new COVID variant. Ahead of the New Year gatherings, Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has urged appropriate COVID protocols be followed, masking up and social distancing being maintained. But there was also political spat between him and Rahul Gandhi over the Bharat Jodo Yatra, with Rahul Gandhi saying that the BJP wants to use COVID as an excuse to stop his yatra.
The Prime Minister, Speaker and MPs all masked up. As COVID cases surge in China, the US and several other parts of the world. The Prime Minister also chaired an emergency review meeting. Addressing both houses, the Union Health Minister said that states are being advised to ensure safety steps against COVID.
आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइज करना, रेस्पिरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाने चाहिए। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय हवाई अड्डों पर विदेश से आने वाले हवाई यात्रियों के 2% कोविड RT-PCR रैंडम सैंपलिंग भी की जा रही है।
Responding to the Health Minister's statement, the Aam Aadmi Party demanded a ban on indirect flights coming from China amid the COVID scare.
अंग्रेजी में कहावत है, प्रिकॉशन इज बेटर देन क्योर। अगर हम चाइना से आने वाली फ्लाइट्स को बैन कर दें, उस पर रोक लगा दें, तो कम से कम जो सबसे ज्यादा इफेक्टेड कंट्री है वहां से आवाजाही बंद हो जाएगी, तो बहुत चीजें प्रिवेंट हो सकती हैं।
However, a day after the Health Minister's letter asking him to suspend the Bharat Jodo Yatra in national interest, Rahul Gandhi accused the government of coming up with excuses to stop his yatra.
अब देखिए, अब यात्रा को रोकने के लिए बहाने बन रहे हैं, अब मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
And with the centre sounding the COVID alert, states rushed into meetings as well, with Chief Ministers of Delhi, Punjab, Maharashtra, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu chairing high-level meetings to take measures to tackle a possible new surge of the coronavirus.
एक तो जितने केसेस आ रहे हैं भारत सरकार के डायरेक्शन के मुताबिक हम सारे केसेस की, जितने पॉजिटिव केस आते हैं सबकी जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग कराते हैं कि वो उसमें कौन सा वेरिएंट है। दूसरा, हमारी आज दिल्ली में लगभग 2500 केसेस की टोटल टेस्टिंग होती है दिल्ली। हमारी कैपेसिटी 1 लाख तक पहुंच गई है। अगर जरूरत पड़ेगी तो हम 1 लाख टेस्ट्स डेली भी कर सकते हैं।
In the coming 7 days, Health Department officials will focus on active genome sequencing of positive samples and ensuring the availability of COVID beds, oxygen supply and testing facilities. According to experts, it's not a cause for panic, but a marker of caution. The message is simple: mask up in public places and be alert. In New Delhi with camera person Rakesh Singh, Vedant for NDTV.
In fact, Vedant is now joining us with more details. So, Vedant, even now, masking up has not been made mandatory, but the centre has urged that people should start masking up, isn't it?
Well, absolutely, Maha. Several important takeaways from that high-level meeting that Prime Minister Modi chaired, really reflective of the preemptive and proactive approach that the centre is taking as far as the COVID response is concerned. So, of course, he talked about ramping up genome sequencing, and he urged the states to, in fact, send larger numbers of samples for active genome sequencing to detect that easily transmissible BF.7 variant that is driving the surge in many parts of the world. Other than that, of course, as you rightly mentioned, he urged people to wear masks in public places, maintain social distancing, and also assured the country that we have absolutely adequate number of medicines, beds earmarked for COVID, and also ambulance services. Something that Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also reiterated. He said that the national capital is fully prepared to take on a possible new surge in the COVID cases. He said that, as many as 35,000 beds are now earmarked for COVID. And other than that, he said that testing is also being ramped up, and testing can be increased to as many as 1 lakh cases per day. So, of course, giving out that message that the national capital is prepared in terms of infrastructure and equipment and also human resources to take on a possible surge in COVID cases, something that the Prime Minister also urged the states to audit and make sure that COVID facilities are prepared to take on a possible new wave. Maha.
Vedant, many thanks for joining us with all those details. Meanwhile, there's concern over lack of accurate information emerging from China. Chinese government has stopped releasing official COVID data, though social media posts from the country give an insight into the overburdened healthcare system.
Doctors trying to perform CPR on a COVID patient in an overcrowded hospital, as per this video tweeted by Chinese-origin human rights activist Jennifer Zheng. As evidence mounts about the worsening COVID situation in China. This footage, shared by the international news agency Associated Press from Wuhan, where COVID-19 was first detected 3 years ago, shows lines of ambulances dropping off the sick at hospitals. This photo is reportedly from a hospital in southwest China's Chongqing city, one of the country's largest, and shows patients lying on the floor in a ward.
WHO is very concerned over the evolving situation in China, with increasing reports of severe disease. In order to make a comprehensive risk assessment of the situation on the ground, WHO needs more detailed information on disease severity, hospital admissions, and requirements for ICU support.
The World Health Organization has raised concerns that China's 1.4 billion population is not adequately vaccinated. China has claimed around 90% of its population is vaccinated, and that second COVID-19 vaccine booster shots for high-risk groups are being rolled out. China also continues to officially project a picture of normalcy. This footage was distributed by the Chinese state news agency CNS and shows 10,000 tablets of ibuprofen, a medicine in heavy demand amid the COVID surge, being distributed to the public free of charge in the industrial city of Taiwan. This footage, shot by the Associated Press at a hospital in northern China's Hebei province, appears to show COVID patients being treated in an orderly manner without chaos. A top health official, Wang Guiqiang, the head of infectious diseases at the Peking University's #1 hospital, has reiterated that China will only count deaths from pneumonia or respiratory failure in its official COVID-19 death toll. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Let's turn our attention now to some other stories. Piyush Goyal has withdrawn his remarks on Bihar after an outrage by Bihar MPs led by Manoj Jha. The RJD MP said Piyush Goyal's remarks smacked of elitism when he said, "Don't turn the country into Bihar."
Take your seats. Go to your seat. Please go to your seat. Piyush Goyal, maafi mango.
Bihari pride injured in protest today over Piyush Goyal's statement in Rajya Sabha yesterday. His clarification on the floor of the House today did nothing to placate anyone.
Let me clarify, there is absolutely no intention of insulting either Bihar or the people of Bihar, and if at all that has hurt anybody, I will immediately withdraw that statement.
पीयूष गोयल को कम से कम जो है इस मसले में माफी मांगनी चाहिए। वो किस प्रकार से ये लोग जो है बिहार को बदनाम करते हैं और मनसा इनके मन में बिहार के प्रति कितना घृणा है मन में, ये सब कुछ जो है सामने आ चुका है।
पीयूष गोयल जी एक जिम्मेवार व्यक्ति हैं और एक जिम्मेवार व्यक्ति के मुंह से ये निकलना, इन शब्दों का, अपमानजनक शब्दों का निकलना, उनकी जो मानसिकता है उसको दर्शाता है। उनको जितनी राजनीति करनी है वो राजनीति करें, हम लोग के साथ राजनीति करें, हम लोग को गाली दें, बिहार को कम से कम गाली दें।
ये स्टेटमेंट विड्रॉ करने वाली चीज नहीं है, ये सीधे पब्लिक अपॉलॉजी वाली चीज है और इसमें दोनों में मीलों का फासला है। अभी भी मेरी विनती होगी, अगर पीयूष गोयल जी माफी नहीं मांगते हैं सदन में और एक एक बिहार के लोगों से, तो जाहिर तौर पर मैं मानूंगा कि प्रधानमंत्री जी की और उनकी पार्टी की कहीं यही तो मंशा नहीं।
Earlier in the day, RJD's Manoj Jha wrote to the Vice President, who is the chairman of Rajya Sabha, to expunge the said remarks from the records and take necessary steps to ensure no such remarks are passed against any other state in the House. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Now, in poll-bound state of Karnataka, it's reservation politics ahead of the 2023 assembly polls. The most powerful community of all, the Lingayats, that determine the poll outcomes and influence over 100 seats for the BJP, was out on the streets in Belgavi, where the winter session is currently on. Stakes are high for the Bommai-led BJP government, which faces strong anti-incumbency. What are the political ramifications of this? Shrija explains.
Months before elections, a massive protest by Lingayats marching towards the Suvarna Sauda Assembly building in Belagavi, North Karnataka, where the last winter session of the Basaraj Bommai government is currently underway. The protesters are a subset of Karnataka's influential Lingayat community called the Panchamasalis, said to make up nearly 60 to 70% of the Lingayats. The Panchamasali Lingayats currently get 5% reservation under the OBC quota, but they want it hiked to 15%, which means being classified under the 2A category of the OBC quota. Lingayats are a major support base for the ruling BJP. The march was spearheaded by prominent Lingayat seer Mrityunjaya Swamiji.
ಮುಂದೆ ಜನ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನು ಬರೋ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೋ
ಎಸ್ಟಿ ಮೀಸಲಾತಿ ಕೊಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ಣಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತ
ಅದೇ ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅವರ ಸಾಕು ತಂದೆ, ಅವರ ತಂದೆ ಸಮಾನ ಇದ್ದವರು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ಲಕತ್ತಾರ ನನಗೆ
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಯಡಿಯೂರಪ್ಪ ಅವರು
ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಅದಾರೆ ಅದು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಆಟ ಬಿಡಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ಮುಗಿತೈತೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಭವಿಷ್ಯ ನೋಡ್ದಲ್ಲೇ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಗಿರ್ತವ್ರು ಮಾತು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೋದ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಅವರ ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ
ಹಿಂದುಳಿದ ವರ್ಗದ ಆಯೋಗದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಜಯಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ಹೆಗಡೆ ಅವರು ನನ್ನ ಕಂಡಿದ್ದರು. ಮಧ್ಯಂತರ ವರದಿಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸೀಲ್ಡ್ ಕವರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮುಂದೇನು ಕ್ರಮ ತೆಗೆದುಕೋಬೇಕನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ಲಾ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರು ಮತ್ತು ಪಾರ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಕಾನೂನಾತ್ಮಕ ಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
To control the damage, top MLAs took to the stage to claim the government is willing to consider the increased quota.
Probably for the first time, the BJP is facing the opposition to this extent from the Lingayat community, the most powerful community that has the power to catapult BJP to success and power during elections. In fact, the Lingayat community especially dominates the Kittur Karnataka region, the formerly known as Mumbai Karnataka region, and also this can determine the poll outcomes as well. In Karnataka, with Kumar Shrija for NDTV.
No work, no salary. That is the message from Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor to the Kashmiri Pandit employees who are not coming to work in the valley out of fear for their life. The Lieutenant Governor said that salaries till 31st August have been disbursed, but they can't be paid if they do not show up for duty.
Protest by Kashmiri Pandits outside the BJP office in Jammu demanding a relocation away from the valley. Around 6,000 Kashmiri Pandits have been given government jobs as part of return to Kashmir Valley under Prime Minister's special employment package since 2010. In May this year, terrorists started target killing of Kashmiri Pandits and employees from Jammu, besides targeting migrant workers. Since then, Pandit employees are on protest.
आज हमें 225 दिन हो गए प्रोटेस्ट करते हुए. प्रोटेस्ट की वजह सिर्फ ये थी हमारा इनसिक्योर एनवायरनमेंट कश्मीर में. जब टारगेट किलिंग्स का दौर शुरू हुआ हमारे एम्प्लॉइज पे, माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी पे, तब से हमारा प्रोटेस्ट आज तक चल रहा है.
And the issue snowballed after Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha announced that the government will not pay salary to Pandit employees if they don't rejoin work.
देखिए कल जो एलजी साहब ने अपने बयान में कहा कि हम घर बैठे तनख्वाह नहीं देंगे और ये कहा कि हमारी सारी डिमांड फुलफिल हो गई है, ये बात ठीक नहीं है, वो झूठ बोला गया है.
But the Lieutenant Governor says his message is clear.
31 अगस्त तक की तनख्वाह सबको दे दी गई, लेकिन अब ये नहीं हो सकता है कि घर बैठ करके तनख्वाह दी जाए. ये बात एक क्लियर एंड लाउड मैसेज है, ये सबको सुनना चाहिए, समझना चाहिए.
But BJP leaders have come out in support of Pandits, assuring them of a transfer policy.
वादा करने कि ट्रांसफर पॉलिसी करवाइए रहोगे पामे जो मर्जी हो.
Last week, government told Parliament that 4 Kashmiri Pandits have been killed by terrorists this year. The opposition says government has failed to give a sense of security to Pandits.
हमने एलजी साहब का एक बयान देखा कश्मीरी पंडित एम्प्लॉइज जो धरने पे जम्मू में बैठे हुए हैं उनके हवाले से. मैं समझता हूं कि बहुत ही गैर जिम्मेदाराना बयान था ऐसे माहौल में जबकि कश्मीरी माइनॉरिटीज जो हैं वो टारगेट बनाई जा रही हैं.
This Kashmiri Pandit camp at Sheikhpura, Badgam is literally deserted. Very few people are living inside. After Lieutenant Governor's announcement, Kashmiri Pandits say they are being forced to make a choice between life and livelihood. At Sheikhpura, Badgam, Nazir Masoodi for NDTV.
Some international news now. Ukrainian President Zelensky made a fervent appeal to the US Congress to support his country. He said that the money to Ukraine is no charity but investment in democracy. President Biden said that his country will stand by Ukraine as it gets ready to send Patriot missile defense system to Ukraine as part of the $1.8 billion assistance package. This is the first known time when President Zelensky has left Ukraine since the start of the war.
Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security and democracy that we handle in the most responsible way.
the Ukrainian president in the US Parliament as Putin's war against his country completes 300 days.
His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky, President of the Ukraine.
In an impassioned address to the US Congress, President Zelensky sought stronger sanctions against Russia and also more financial support from the US as the war continues. Bringing a Ukrainian flag along with him as a reminder to the US that their decisions can save millions of lives. President Joe Biden had earlier said that US will send Ukraine a Patriot missile defense system as part of an additional $1.8 billion assistance package. The two leaders met at the White House with the Ukrainian president donning a green military outfit. This was the president's first visit out of Ukraine since the start of the war, and President Zelensky said that he was honored to be at the White House.
President Zelensky, I want you to know that all the people of Ukraine to know as well. The American people have been with you every step of the way, and we will stay with you. We will stay with you for as long as it takes.
The two leaders also indicated after their meeting that the war is entering a new phase.
Merry Christmas and happy, victorious New Year. Slava Ukraini!
Bureau Report, NDTV.